Let's kick things off by comparing exterior applications of tensile structures to pretty much everything else out there, as we look this week at light options versus heavy options. Welcome to Materials Month. I'm your host, Andre Baros. All month long, we're diving into Ace Labs Materials Hub to give you side-by-side materials analysis. We're not just showing you these materials, we're comparing them and helping you understand exactly how they perform, with detailed insights that you can use for yourself. Let's dive into the Materials Hub. We're going to talk about this one in a little different way than others. We're comparing tensile structures to what I said was everything else. Tensile structures are just inherently lightweight, and again, when you look at the whole system of fabric and a little bit of structure, it's just dramatically lighter than anything else out there. I'm going to jump right to my schedule here where I pulled together some stuff from a couple different players. And I'm going to actually start out of order and go to Bird Air here, because this is nostalgic for me. When I was a very young architect, 3 years out of school, 3 years out of school, I was working on my first transit station with a tensile structure, and I was going to reinvent the wheel. I'm an architect, right? Want to reinvent the wheel every time. And someone brought to my attention that there's actually a company that just sells these. In that particular case, we ended up working with Bird Air, and they just make it as a turnkey solution. We're going to come back to that shot. Massive. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, right? 16-story tent stadiums. And there's a classic, The Embassy by Kieran Timberlake. They even now make it with insulated panels. I was blown away that this was an off-the-shelf product. I just thought that this was itself architecture. But to think that you just go to Bird Air and you buy this, right, was mind-blowing to me. But they turnkey solution it, right? The engineering, the fabrication, everything. And there's other people like that doing equally wonderful things. This is ETS. This is a tensile sculpture on the ceiling. Here's a little tiny one, right? It's not always gigantic. Here, as a canopy spanning between two buildings. That would be ludicrously heavy if you were doing it out of any other material. But by doing this as a fabric tensile structure, it doesn't even have to look like a fabric tensile structure. But doing it that way allows you to be so much more efficient and get amazing results. And here's one more. This is just so fun. And like I said, kind of a little bit of nostalgia, because I think it's a system that if you're in the know, right, if you're working on transit, or if you're working with somebody who's done that, or you're working on a building where you have the experience of the team to know that these options are out there, it's no big deal. But I think it's an example where a lot of architects don't realize just how accessible tensile structures are when you reach out to one of these people. If you don't want to reach out to one of the experts and bring them in, the other option is Schuco. Now, I think they acquired Facet, which is a tensile facade system. This is fabric stretched. It's actually a plastic fabric, but still fabric, stretched on a facade. And it's a turnkey solution that allows you to do incredibly creative solutions. In this case, sunshades, very, very lightweight sunshades. Here's the view from the inside. Here's a view on the facade. And, they're selling you not even a turnkey. This is just a product you buy that is a clip and a fabric screen, and you snap it together to clad anything. I've seen it most commonly used here on parking garages, ironically, in the US, because it is a very lightweight, very economical way to wrap massive areas with a lot of creativity. So whether you go with one of the big custom manufacturers or an off-the-shelf option from Schuco, it's really fun to know that it's out there and add it to your toolkit. Like I said, I'm not comparing it to anything else because nothing else is even close, right? Compare wrapping a parking garage in brick versus a sheet of fabric. Wrapping a parking garage even in glass compared to a sheet of fabric, or a metal system. Even a metal pulled in tension is going to be dramatically heavier and require a much more robust structural system to hold it than a sheet of fabric. So I just don't think there's anything you can compare it to. Check it out. They also have some great educational content, which we'll include down in the show notes. So enjoy it and add that to your toolkit. And that's it for today's material comparison. Of course, you're the expert on your project, but maybe we're sharing something that fits your particular design, budget, or circumstances. As always, we'd love to hear your thoughts and material ideas. So be sure to visit us at acelabusa.com to view all of these materials and so much more inside our Materials Hub. And remember, we're always here to help, so go pick your favorite material and go make it real.